Welcome to Activate and the Activate Calltime Digital Manager. The Activate Calltime Manager is designed to take the inefficiencies out of a candidate's life on the phone raising money. Candidates will no longer need wade through the multitude of answering machines, bad numbers, no answers, busy signals. We'll take care of all that. The Activate Calltime Manager is an inexpensive and guaranteed way to increase a candidate's connect rate by a factor of 300%, 400%, and more. Let me show you how it works. Once you've downloaded the app, an icon will pop up on your screen. Here, let me just do this little thing. There we go. And that'll pop up on your desktop. All you have to do to access the program is to click on that icon, and boom, there you go. Pops up. And we're going to give you a username and password once we set up your account, and you just hit OK. Put that in, and in a second you're in the system. I'm going to expand this so we can see it better. So this is what it looks like. This is what will pop up on your screen. Now, in order to use Activate, you basically need three things. You need a computer. It needs to be a Windows-based computer, so can't use Macs. Or you can use a laptop or a desktop or even a Windows-based tablet. You also need a headset. We recommend having a USB-based headset, but it's not necessary. Just about any headset will work. And you need internet. With those three, you're well on your way to making a lot of calls really fast. Now, up here, I'm just going to get this thing over here. Over here, you can see that there are three modes of using Activate. Predictive. Now, predictive is the most efficient. That's the one where you're going to get that 300, 400% improvement in your productivity. Basically, what happens is that when you hit that and you start dialing, we have servers that are going to dial the phone 3, 4, 5 lines at a time, identifying somebody who's at home and selecting those people and shipping them to you. We'll get to that in a second. Everything else, the computer notes that it was a busy signal or an answering machine or a bad number or something like that, but you never actually hear it. So all you're doing is talking to people. Another mode is preview mode. And preview mode is the one that we're going to actually use today. Mostly because in our project, we have live numbers, and I don't really want to be calling people and bugging them. So we're going to put it in preview mode. Now, what preview mode is basically putting a call script on your screen before you dial it. Now, in predictive mode, your call script's going to pop up when the person answers the phone. So you're not going to know ahead of time who that person is, and you're going to have to adapt to that. But once you do adapt to it, your call efficiency is going to go up, up, and up. So anyway, back to the preview mode. So here, and this is what you do in predictive mode too. First thing you'd have to do, you see the red line here, it says select a project. All right, you have to go over here and select a project. There's only one project here in this account, so we're going to select demo. Now it says do not disturb. Uncheck the do not disturb. Now it's really important when you're in predictive mode. When you uncheck the do not disturb, it's going to start dialing. Our servers are going to start dialing right away, and so you need to be ready to start taking calls. It's really important because once you uncheck that, you're going to start getting calls. There's no room for error. And when you do get a call, you're going to hear a beep-doop. And when you hear that, you know to start talking right away, even if the call sheet is not up on the screen yet, because that person has answered the phone and they probably already said hello. And you want to minimize any amount of pause. You know the pause. Nobody likes that pause. And what we've done in our system is minimize that pause to a very small level. So the only real pause that anybody would detect is if you pause. So the minute you hear that beep-doop, you need to start talking. And once you do, it's pretty seamless. But we're in preview mode, so we can uncheck it, and it's not going to do anything because it's not dialing yet. Because in preview mode, you're actually initiating the dialing. So But this is what it looks like when you're ready to go. In preview mode, you go down here to the next call, and in a few seconds, a call sheet will come up on the screen. Now, the call sheet can be anything you want it to be, basically. You can cut and paste and do whatever you want. Here, we just kind of have an example of, all right, so here's the name, first name and last name, the city and zip code, the phone number. If we had donor history for this person, it'd be right here. It would show up right here. If we had employer and occupation, it would show up in here. If you'd called this person before, it would note the last time that you called them. If you had talked to them before and had a conversation, it would show up here, so that you'd have those notes that you collect down here. And here's the next thing. Anything you want to collect, you can collect. If you want to collect an email address, which many times you will. Pledge amount, which I'm sure you want to collect. Contribution amount, I guess that is if you take the contribution over the phone and get their credit card information and put it in yourself. But it could be whatever you want. Basically, all of this can be organized in any way that you want, and look any way that you want. It's not rigid. It's not something that it spits out of a computer. It's something that you design yourself. And here we've just put examples of candidate notes. So the first conversation you have, the second conversation you have, the third conversation, all of this stuff. So, but right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, all right, you contacted me. I'm going to put my email address in here. Now I'm going to put, and let's say that I said I would contribute $300. Go over here, and we go to the disposition. So you disposition every call. Every disposition is anything you want it to be. We start out with a blank slate. So again, we're going to adapt it to whatever you like or are comfortable with, the language that you're comfortable with. All of these things can be put in whatever language that you want, and you can have as many dispositions as you want or as few as you want. Here are a few that we've got up here. Now, so I said I was going to contribute $300. So we're going to disposition the code contribution. Now, the interesting thing about that, and it's pretty cool, is that we can have an email go out immediately to that person, to me. In fact, I'm probably getting an email right now that says, thank you, Mark, thank you for your contribution of $300, and blah, blah, blah. Again, the email can be whatever you want it to say. It will look like an email directly from you. You can BCC anybody that you wish, and it goes out immediately. You can do that for contributions, pledges, if somebody wants you to email them information, anything that you want to put an email out to, you can create a disposition and create an email that link together, and that email will go out immediately. No waiting to the end of the day, no waiting. They get it 30, 45 seconds after they talk to you on the phone. It's pretty cool, and I think it's pretty effective. Now we're going to take a next call. Now the thing to understand is, in preview mode, if you decide to use that sometimes, which you probably will, and in fact I would recommend using it when you get started before you go into predictive mode. That way you can kind of get used to the whole digital call sheet idea. It's a little bit different. Well, it's a lot different than using paper, but it's a lot more effective, and all the data gets stored right away. But when you're in preview mode and you hit the next call, you look at the person. Okay, I'm going to call Sherry Kennedy, and you say, all right, I'm going to call this person. Go up here and you hit dial. I'm not going to hit dial because this is a real number, and I don't actually want to call anybody today. But so you do the call. You talk to Sherry. Hopefully you get a hold of her, but in preview mode, there's no guarantee of that. You fill in all the information you want. At the end of your call, you want to go up and hang up on them before you go to the disposition, because that gives you time for your finance director or whoever's working with you on call time to put in the email address, the pledge amount, any other notes, basically finish up the call sheet. Once you finish up the call sheet after you've hung up, you can go over to the disposition, and there you go. Back to our dispositions. Now here's an interesting one. So Sherry here told me tonight that, well, she's going to be making dinner. Or she's making dinner right now, and she can't talk, but if you'd call her back in an hour, she'd be happy to talk to you. So we're going to go in here, we hit the call back, and look what pops up. Gives us a time and date when we can call her back. So we're going to put in an hour from now, and we're going to put a note in here that says, making dinner, call in an hour. And we hit OK. Take a second here, and there she is, Sherry Kennedy. There are a lot of people making dinner tonight, but Sherry Kennedy, I'm going to call her back in an hour. And the way you would do that is go over to the call options, bring that up, highlight Sherry Kennedy, when it's time to call her back. And this could be, on any time, any day. So you don't have to worry about making notes of it. You don't have to be thinking about it. Every time you come up on Activate, this list of callbacks will come up. So you just go over and look at the date, and you look at the time and say, all right, I guess I should call this person back. And then you just go over to the call options, highlight the person you need to call back, hit OK. I'm not going to do that again because it's a live number. But once you do that, it'll call that person. And there you go. You can also make appointments. You can load your here, let's go to next call. You can, so let's say that Elizabeth is somebody that could raise $50,000. Well, that's somebody you want to meet with. So here, you could, in the manager side, you could put in blocks of time when you're available to do meetings and make appointments on this system, so that, and then download it into your calendar the next day. You can do that right from the center. Something good to take advantage of sometimes. What else? That's pretty much it. There's a whole bunch of stuff on the manager side that I could go through with your staff, but there's a lot of features that this program will help you with your call time. But most importantly, particularly in predictive mode, this program will make your call time more efficient. I know you hate calling, getting answering machines, getting bad numbers, getting no answers. This will take care of all that. It'll sift through it, and it's not going to cost you very much money at all. We offer this to our clients really because I think it's an important thing for Democrats to take advantage of. Because I know how powerful it can be. I have clients that use it. I have a friend who's using it who's running for Congress right now, and it's increased her call time efficiency by 400%, and has helped her reach her goals in fundraising, which is really dramatic. And it's something I want to help you with too. Well, that's really pretty much it. I hope you've enjoyed this session. I know that I have. But call us back, and we'd be happy to take you through it in more detail and go talk to your staff about how to better organize it for you. Our phone number is